in a G Plus community asked that I share this battle. I was in the campaign as Bretonia. I had just confederated with Bordelou, and I had moved in to support them in their war against Mousillon when my main stack had moved in, and the tiny Bordelou stack, which was led by this dude here, just a normal everyday lord, I guess. He wasn't particularly exciting. I think he was spec'd for making money, and he has a whole bunch of crap here. We've got one set of trebuchets, one thing of peasant bowmen, some spearmen, and then a whole bunch of men-at-arms, and none of them which had any levels. So basically, this was a really crappy stack. Luckily, my main stack was coming in on the other side to support them, and the enemy was the Red Duke himself, somewhere in here, with a full stack, along with here's the Red Duke here, along with another stack that was supporting him, a full stack, and then a third stack that was maybe about halfway full. Most of the stacks, they're all zombies and skeletons and skeleton spearmen. So there wasn't a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of real quality stuff, but there was just a lot of them. It was 3 stacks. I guess it was 2.5 stacks against my 1.5 stacks. They had, I think, almost 3 times as many units as I did. And as you'll see, actually these guys over here, my half stack, didn't actually do a whole lot except for I forgot that they brought in some 4 units of cavalry, mounted yeomen, and I think there was one thing of yeoman archers. These guys did a little bit of work, but these guys over here, they did pretty much nothing until the very end. So yeah, this is kind of difficult. Basically, my main stack did most of the work, and I knew how to fight these guys, and I ended up winning. Now this is a replay, and I know that sometimes replays don't exactly play back exactly how it went, but we will see. So basically, when we started, here we go. I'll start off here now. Okay, so their reinforcements are coming in right away. So this is just one stack here. They get all this. This is all the Red Duke stuff. You can see my stuff coming in back here in the corner, and my peasant mobs at this time had a leadership of 75 just to begin with, so they were pretty awesome. My men at arms leadership at 84. Yeah, so my guys are pretty good, because I went all in on the Lord's red set of skills that boosts everybody's all of the melee infantry leadership. So you can see I'm setting them all up. I'm trying to get everybody in this far corner here to make everybody come after me, because I have some trebuchets I can set up and a bunch of archers, and I'm moving my cavalry out because my goal is to try and snipe their leaders. That's why I've got these guys up here. So my cavalry basically, they're going to go out and destroy the leaders. My Pegasus Knights are going to come out and kill these direwolves and these fell bats, because they are weak against armor, and also these guys are kind of badass. So one good charge, and as you can see, they're taking a big chunk. Actually, their morale is just dwindling. Their leadership, they're just getting chewed up. If they weren't immediately rezzed by this spell right here, then they would have just been toast. In the meantime, I've got my guys being set up over here in these woods. I'm trying to find a way for these guys to come in, over here, but yeah, to get to that lord, but that doesn't happen for a while. Here's a lord here, the Strigoi Ghoul King. That's one of the other lords. So at first they were actually all heading towards these guys here, and I forgot to move this guy back, and he's walking back, and these guys are moving forward. Basically, these guys just kind of sit out 90% of this fight. These guys are my guys over here are getting set up. You can see I have them going to these lines. And this is where they're gonna make their last stand. My cavalry over here, they're kind of getting shaken up. Yeah, see, my knights errant and my Pegasus knights are getting caught up just by this blob. It looked really scary here, and here I'm trying to find a way to get my knights to flank these guys and find a way for me to get to their lord. And I tried to sneak in through the back around here because I think that that the lord was around here somewhere, but I wasn't able to. Yeah, so basically, oh, there we go. See, I've got the trebuchets lobbing stuff into the forest, just trying to knock down their health or whatever to make a little dent in these guys. You can see it's working a little bit. Yeah, see, I got my knights errant out of there. My Pegasus knights are still stuck in there. They're taking some morale damage. These guys over here, they managed. I pulled them away, and they're going to start firing into here. Let's fast forward this a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty difficult here for a while. It gets really hairy. Oh, here we go. So here are the two lords that I'm trying to get to. Here we go. So the Red Duke, he's already taken some damage. And here we go. Here's the other one, the Strigoi Ghoul King. These are the two that I'm really needing to take care of. You can see I just ordered all my guys to attack this one guy, and and he gets piled on by all of my units. A bit overkill because most of them don't even get to hit anybody, and then they all get, locked in this battle here, which probably was not the best smart thing to do. Over here, I set these guys up again. I think I was busy looking over there. Oh, yeah, here we go. I was waiting for a chance to get to this guy here, this Master Necromancer. I was just waiting for a chance while at the same time watching this scrum here. You see I'm trying to pull them away to get them away from all of these dudes here. You see the trebuchets are doing some much needed damage to these warriors that are coming in. Yeah, so I get them pulled away over here to the left hand side. Yep, and I'm just gonna charge these guys hopefully in the flank and get a good charge. I'm also pulling these guys away from the flank or from my line to help give my guys a little bit of extra time, and my guys are just letting loose with the arrows. All of them are just launching everything we have at the Red Duke. You can see he's already taken some damage. He's starting to move away. I think actually he's trying to come after my lord. Yep, there's King Loenkje. And there they go. They are locked in battle here. This is what I wanted, pretty much. You can see I start casting spells on him. He casts them on himself, actually. The Invocation of Nehek that sort of revives him. Even though and then I also gave him the Curse of the Midnight Wind, which is minus melee attack and minus armor. And so basically just a bunch of spells back and forth. You can see he's losing handily. And this is in fast forward, so actually this is me. I'm like sweating this entire time. And these guys are just piling on to my spearmen at arms. They're frightened, but my leadership bonuses are doing what they need to. And over here, my guys are taking care of these guys over here. They get locked up with these skeleton spearmen, which are really bad actually for cavalry. And I'm just trying to get to this necromancer, just trying to get around. You can see my guys are kind of taking a beating. See, I'm targeting him. Eventually, I am able to get him, I think, or actually, I think he runs away. I don't know. I don't remember. But basically, you know, these guys over here, they're not doing anything. I forgot all about them, basically, and they were so crappy that they probably wouldn't have been able to do a whole lot anyway. So I'm piling on this Strigoi Ghoul King with my cavalry. He, yeah, so he's just losing. But I have to pull them out so I can get a good charge on him. But as I pull him out, I think that he starts getting his, yep, he's getting his thing back, but then I just come back with another charge. So I think this is where I actually take out this Ghoul King. Am I still fighting this guy? Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, so I'm still fighting the Red Duke, and he is just about ready to die. And so are all of these other skeleton warriors. All of their binding is 0, basically, for these guys over here. You're just being nailed by, you know, by arrows and stuff. And the Red Duke is just, you know, he's just being laid into by King Loenkur, who is actually being pretty punished himself. But here is where, oh, now I'm getting some people that are fleeing. Look at that. It was those guys that were being attacked by the spearmen. Because spearmen is really bad for infantry, or for cavalry, sorry. And, oh, look at, okay, so now I have destroyed the Red Duke. Now this is where they start crumbling. Yes, so, which is very, very important, because I've got 1 unit here of Spearmen at Arms fighting 4 units of Skeleton Warriors here on this flank. And you can see that now that the Red Duke is gone, their binding is going away. They have critical binding, they're diminished. These guys have barely been scratched. These guys as well. This line is holding up beautifully, while my guys are just trying to take out this Ghoul King. Look, man, I really wish, and I should have taken him out. Oh, I should have taken him out when his binding was all the way down to the bottom. But you know, I let him go to try and get another charge, but that was probably a bad idea, because now he's doing better again. But you have to keep at it. You gotta try to nail him. Where are my other guys at? I think they're all over here in the forest. Yeah. These are the those guys from over here. I'm trying to get them away so that they can get their morale back. And here is my other lord. I figure that I can use him maybe to fight this other necromancer, who is where is he? He's around here. I think he's over here. Maybe not. Is he over here? I don't remember. But for some reason, he's only moving these units out now. They're a bunch of crap units, so they don't mean a whole lot. But oh yeah, I think he's over here. So I think he's in here somewhere. So basically, I have all these cavalry dudes trying to take out this second lord, while these guys over here are trying to take out that Strigoi Ghoul King. I don't know where he is now, but look, these guys are, oh man, these guys are still standing. You know, if I just done one good charge in here, they probably all would have crumbled, but these guys are holding it up just fine, so you know, I couldn't really pull them away. And these Pegasus Knights are being slammed, they're caught up. Did I kill the Ghoul King by this point? I might have. Now the problem is, even if you manage to kill, oh, here he is, he's over here. Yeah, if you do manage to take out the leader, you still need to start making them lose so that they start crumbling. And you know, these guys are just one big blob, and they're killing all my Pegasus Knights. So their binding is in good shape. Oh, and I've killed this guy over here, so this Necromancer is good. Yeah, so now I'm gonna pull these guys all out. You know, their manic charge to kill that leader was successful. I'll pull them out because I know I'm going to need them later. And you can see their binding is just dropping. These guys here, man, look how many units I have, and these guys are in some poor shape. But fear not, because there was a good ending here. And over here, the Strigoi Ghoul King just does not want to die, but my my mounted dudes do want to die. And so what am I going to do? I think this is where I start moving these guys over here out. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know when they're going to start moving out. Yeah, so these guys over here in the forest, their binding is starting to drop. You can see them falling apart. I'm doing what I can to keep these guys alive and out of combat while I'm paying attention to other crap as well. This guy is on his way to try and help get some crumbling going. Over here, oh, this was a very poor cast. I actually got a big chunk of the enemy, but that big lightning magic thing also carved a big swath out of my own guys. Yeah, so and my front line is keeping at it. You know, some of these spells did some work, some of them didn't. These guys are crumbling. You see this crumbling is starting to spread. But this Strigoi Ghoul King, he's still standing. Yeah, I don't remember how I took care of him, but my line is still in really good shape. These guys over here are trying to flank me, even though they're in bad shape themselves. These guys are crumbling. Their numbers are dropping real quick. These guys are going to follow them. Yep, and this is where I come in with the flank, and these zombies are going to just fall apart. These guys are also jumping in, and this is where I start, you know, moving my my lines around. This guy, so here's King Luin-Luin-Core. I used his magic to drop this guy's armor and melee attack, thinking that I was going to get over there and attack him, but he was locked in combat with all these stupid skeletons. So by the time I was even able to get to him, this spell was wasted. See, so it was really frustrating. But I charge at him. I get a good hit on him, and then he wails on me for a while, and things don't look good for me. You know, I have all these skeletons and the Strigoi Ghoul King, so I lure him into my front line because, you know, my front line is doing pretty good, and pretty much that's where I tell pretty much my peasants and everybody, you know, hey, let's go kill this guy. That's right. I also have a spellcaster who also kind of jumps in and I think better of it. He chases and I bring him behind the lines so that basically, you know, I can get a bunch of other people. I tell my peasants, you know, throw yourselves at his feet or something, you know. You know, insert clever Monty Python reference or something, I guess. So now that I have numbers on my side, we start attacking him, and eventually this guy drops. You can see his morale is dropping, and here I come from behind with the charge, and you'll see what I mean. Oh, yes, there we go. And let's see some binding crumble, or well, I guess these guys are just falling apart. So there we go. I guess these guys are just gonna die before they can crumble. So I save my line basically here, and a bunch of these dudes run away because they're scared. In the meantime, I had brought these guys over, and they start fighting. But man, yeah. I had a hell of a time with this field trebuchet being attacked by these spearmen. I managed to save them. I think I charged them or something. These arrows. Oh, I finally killed the Strigoi Ghoul King. And these guys are saving these spearmen at arms that do not have such great leadership, because their leader is not very good. I did not save them from the spearmen. Over here, these guys are crumbling. Yeah, so this is how I saved the trebuchet dudes. A nice charge, which melts away their binding. You know, in a matter of seconds, they're down and they're almost out. Same here. These guys are already at half binding. There we go. I'm going to come back for another charge to finish these spearmen off. And basically, this is just the rest of the battle here, is me just trying to peel away the all this binding, because as you can see, you know, as time goes on, their binding just starts to drop naturally. And remember, there were 4 units here. Now there's 2. You can see that the binding is just dropping just on its own, basically, against these these spearmen at arms. That, you know, there's only a few of them left, and I back him up with this peasant mob. And you know, they're holding them off. It was 4 units here being held off by a single unit of spearmen at arms. It's pretty badass. Now these guys over here crumbling. This is done. This is done over here. Those guys are too afraid to do anything. These guys are gonna. This binding is gonna drop away. These guys as well. These guys, there's only a few Grail Knights left, but they could probably do another charge. Over here, yeah, these guys are probably running away. Yep, they're broken. And my field trebuchet dudes are trying to get away from these spearmen who are falling apart. How did I save these guys? I don't remember. I guess we can watch. Oh, here we go. So I got these peasant bowmen. I bring them in, and let's see how long it takes before their binding just... Oh, that's one good volley, and most of their binding is gone. Am I able to get another good shot? I don't remember. Over here, we've got the rest of these dudes over here. These guys are just kind of standing around until I realize that they are. I tell them to jump in the fight. You can see that there's one... Oh, that's it. That whole front is dead, and that's it. It was tough. In the end, I wiped out 99% of their army because I took out the leader, and then basically I held off the rest of them and peeled away their binding using charges and getting them on their flanks. Yeah, and that was about it. Afterwards, most of my units were still there. They were all pretty much replenished by at least 50%. But the undead, they still had a couple of units because of their mechanic. You know, that some of their units randomly come back with minimum numbers. But after that, Mousillon was just, you know, a couple turns away from complete domination, and I took him out. And yeah, so that is how Bretonnia fights against the undead. So I hope you liked it. If you want to see more of my admittedly not that impressive gameplay or whatever, let me know. Cool, thanks.